Hi folks, Excisus here. I got a new pattern in today that I've not had before, so I'd like to show you that. But before we get into the meat of things, please, if you like the stuff, please give it a thumbs up, or a thumbs down if you don't. Much of a muchness. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Something like 62% if you are not subscribed. 62% of people who watch my videos. That's fairly consistent. It'd be great to see some more subscribers. See it past 3,000 by the year end would be lovely. Anyway, that being said, let's get into it. I have the very first Spyderco I ever got was this one, which was the first pattern of the ladybug, and I've had that one certainly more than 20 years. I don't know how much more than 20 years. It is not dissimilar to the current ladybug. There are a few differences to both the blade and the handle, but it's recognizable perhaps for what it was. Anyway, I've had a few other ladybugs. Quite like the ladybug as a pattern, and it's not too expensive, so you can collect some of them. This one here is in K390, which I really like as a steel. It's not the most corrosion-resistant steel in the world, but it really does hold an edge. And as such, my Dragonfly here is a go-to EDC knife. I like it a lot. It's not too big. Obviously it locks, so in the UK that's a problem, but I don't get out much. The Endurer, I really love this knife. I mean, I know it's a bit of a monster, but I've got big hands, and when it comes to cutting up my daily apple, this rivals the Case Trapper, which is my #1 apple knife. The only downside to this one is the blade's a bit broad. The case clip blade on the Trapper is quite thin, and so it cuts the apple really well. But this one works. Now, new one is this one, and you could be forgiven for thinking it's another ladybug, but it's not. It's the Manbug, and the Manbug is exactly the same length as the ladybug. It's just a little bit broader. I don't know what the thinking was in the bringing such a subtle change, or if it was merely because this ladybug sounds like it's made for the ladies. Let's make a Manbug for the men. Now, if we just lay these out, open, don't think we need the Endurer. That's just a whopper. You can see the change in size and shape. Oops. A bit further out of the way. What these little ones don't have that the Dragonfly has is the finger choil on the bottom there, which I do quite like. But what you can see here is that the ladybug is a little bit more pointy, and the Manbug has a little bit more belly on him, and his handle is just a little bit broader. Now the other thing, as I say, I love that K390. I think it's a great steel, really good. But one of my other ladybugs is this here, and this one was an exclusive for the Knife Centre, in America. This one was just described as a sprint run, and I got it without the box, so I don't know any more than that, except that I do know that like the Knife Center one, the blade steel is HAB 40 San Mai. So I think you can see, pick this up, I hope you can see the San Mai line. I don't know if you can, I can't. That one actually is clearer when it's lying down there. But again, you've got so in effect, you've got HAB 40 steel in the middle, clad with some softer, tougher steel on the outside. So that's, they've got the same steel, they're the same length. This one's a bit broader, this one's a bit narrower, but this one of course has the wooden packer wood scales. Now they did this one, the Dragonfly, and I think they did the Delica. I don't know if they did any bigger ones in this, and I'd love to be able to get them, but buying from America is now very difficult. Last time I bought a knife from, I don't think it was the Knife Center, but from somebody with this limited edition. I can't remember which dealer it came from, but this one was a limited edition in S30V. CPM S30V, which, considering I've got the K390 and this original one, which I think was the original one, doesn't say what it is, but I would lay odds it's either Oz 8 or possibly VG10. It's slightly narrow. It's funny, if you kind of compare the progression from the first Ladybug through to the modern Ladybug through to the Manbug, you can see them just getting a little bit fatter and fatter, but all of course exactly the same length. So anyway, it's maybe not the most exciting thing to see in the world, but I quite like this. I like the burnt orange. I love these little sort of knives. I collect a lot of them. I don't really use them. I tend to use the Dragonfly most out of all of these sorts of knives, but I like the Endurer too. The only problem is my granddaughter has shown a great interest in the Endurer, and she is quite capable, even at 2 years old, of picking it up and opening it, and that scares the bejesus out of me. But it's one of the reasons I like lockbacks is because I've not got much strength in my hands. It doesn't take a lot of force to open this knife, and she's realised that, so she just picks it up and opens it. It's very scary, so I have to keep that hidden away now. It used to live in the little pouch on the side of my wheelchair, but I can't do that. Anyway, pop that down. A new pattern, a very slight variation on the other patterns, but it's a nice little sprint run, and it goes into my Japanese collection, fits in very well. So, okay, if you like this stuff, please, as I said, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you can, and if you'd like to make a comment, make a comment. Thank you very much. Bye. See you next time.